We use for and since to say how long something has been happening. We use for a period of time, 2 hours, 6 weeks, etc. I've been waiting for 2 hours. I've been waiting since 8 a.m. For 2 hours, for a long time, for a week, for 20 minutes, for 6 months, for ages, for 5 days, for 40 years, for years. Since 8, since April, since lunchtime, since Monday, since 1985, since we arrived, since May 12, since Christmas, since yesterday. Kelly has been working here for 6 months, not since 6 months. Kelly has been working here since April. I haven't seen Tom for 3 days. I haven't seen Tom since Monday. It's possible to leave out for. They've been married 10 years. They have they haven't had vacation for 10 years. We do not use for plus or all day, all my life. I've lived here all my life. You can use in instead of for in negative sentence. They haven't had a vacation in 10 years. They haven't had a vacation in 10 years. Compare when and how long. When did it start raining? When did it start raining? It started raining an hour ago. How long has it been raining? It's been raining for an hour. When did Joe and Carol first met? They first met a long time ago. They first met when they were in high school. How long have they known each other? How long have they known each other? They've known each other for a long time. They've known each other since they were in high school. We say it's been a long time, 2 years, etc. since something happened. It has been 2 years. It has been 2 years since I saw Joe. I haven't seen Joe for 2 years. It's been ages since we went to the movies. We haven't gone to the movies for ages. It's been ages. It's been ages. It's been 2 years. It's been 2 years since I saw Joe. It's been ages since we went to the movies. We can ask how long has it been since? How long has it been? How long has it been since you saw Joe? How long has it been since you saw Joe? How long has it been since Mrs. Hill died? Sarah went to Sarah went to a party last week. Eric went to the party too, but they didn't see each other. Eric left the party at 10:30 and Sarah got there at 11. So when Sarah got to the party, Eric wasn't there. He had gone home. Had gone is the past perfect. The past perfect is had plus past participle. Sometimes we talk about something that happened in the past. Sarah got to the party. This is the starting point of the story. Then, if we want to talk about things that happened before this time, we use the past perfect. When Sarah arrived at the party, Eric had already gone home. When we got home last night, we found that somebody had broken into our house. Karen didn't want to go to the movies with us because she'd already seen the film. At first, I thought I'd done the right thing, but I soon realized that I'd made a big mistake. The man sitting next to me on the plane was very nervous. He hadn't flown before, or he had never flown before. He had never flown before. Present perfect. Past perfect. Present perfect. Who is that woman? Who is that woman? I've never seen her before. Who is that woman? I've never seen her before. We aren't hungry. We've just had lunch. The house is dirty. They haven't cleaned it for weeks. I didn't know who she was. I'd never seen her before. We weren't hungry. We'd just had lunch. The house was dirty. The house was dirty. They hadn't cleaned it for weeks. Was Tom there when you arrived? Was Tom there when you arrived? Yes, but he left a little later. Amy wasn't at home when I called. She was at her mother's house. Was Tom there when you arrived? No, he had already left. Yes, but he left a little later. No, he had already left. Amy had just gotten home when I called. When I called, she had been at her mother's house. She had been at her mouse's house, mother's house. Yesterday morning, I got up and looked out of the window. The sun was shining, but the ground was very wet. It had been raining. It was not raining when I looked out of the window. The sun was shining, but it had been raining before. When the boy came into the house, their clothes were dirty. Their hair was messy, and one of them had a black eye. They'd been fighting. They'd been fighting. I was very tired when I got home. I'd been working hard all day. When I went to Tokyo a few years ago, I stayed with a friend of mine. She'd been living there only a short time, but knew the city very well. You can say that something had been happening for a period of time before something else happened. We'd been playing tennis. We'd been playing tennis for about half an hour when it started to rain hard. Jim went to the doctor last Friday. He hadn't been feeling well for some time. Present perfect continuous. Past perfect continuous. I hope the bus comes soon. I've been waiting for 20 minutes. James is out of breath. Out of breath. He has been running. The bus finally came. I'd been waiting for 20 minutes. James was out of breath. He had been running. It wasn't raining when we went out. The sun was shining, but it had been raining, so the ground was wet. Stephanie was sitting in an armchair resting. She was tired because she'd been working very hard. We are good friends. We are good friends. We had known each other. We had known each other for years. Not had been knowing. We had known each other for years. For a list of this verbs. Have and have got. You can use have got or have. There's no difference in meaning. We have a new car. We've got a new car. Nancy has two sisters. Nancy has got two sisters. I have a headache. I've got a headache. I've got a headache. He has a few problems. He's got a few problems. Our house has a big yard. Our house has got a big yard. When have means possesses, etc., you cannot use continuous forms. We are enjoying our vacation. We have got a nice room in the hotel. Do you have any questions? Have you got any questions? I don't have any questions. I haven't got any questions. Does she have a car? Has she got a car? She doesn't have a car. She hasn't got a car. For the past, we use had. Anne had long hair when she was a child. In past questions and negative sentence, we use did and didn't. Did they have a car? Did they have a car when they were living in Miami? I didn't have a watch, so I didn't know what time it was. Anne had long hair, didn't she? Have breakfast, have a trouble, have a good time. We have a good time. We also use have, not have got, for many actions and experiences. Breakfast, have a breakfast, have a breakfast, have a dinner, have a cup of coffee, have something to eat, have a party, have a safe trip, have a good flight, have a party, have a safe trip, have a good flight, have an accident, have an experience, have a dream, have a look, have a conversation, have a discussion, have a talk, have a trouble, have a difficulty, have fun, have a good time, have a baby, give birth to a baby, have an operation, have an operation. Have got is not possible in the expressions in the boxes. Sometimes I have a sandwich for lunch. I have a sandwich for lunch, but I have some sandwiches. Would you like one? I have some sandwiches. We can use continuous forms with the expression in the box. We are enjoying our vacation. We are having a great time. Mike is having trouble with his car. He often has trouble with his car. In questions and negative sentences, we use do, does, did. I don't usually have a big breakfast. What time does Anne have lunch? Did you have any trouble finding a place to live? David quit jogging. David quit jogging 2 years ago. He doesn't jog anymore, but he used to jog. He used to jog 3 miles a day. Used to jog 3 miles a day. He used to jog. He jogged regularly in the past, but he doesn't jog now. Something used to happen. It happened regularly in the past, but no longer happens. I used to play tennis a lot, but I don't play very often now. David used to spend a lot of money on clothes. These days he can't afford it. Do you go to the movies much? Do you go to the movies much? Not anymore, but I used to. We also use used to for something that was true but is not true anymore. This building is now a furniture store. It used to be a movie theater. I used to think Mark was unfriendly, but now I realize he's a very nice person. I've started drinking coffee recently. I never used to like it. I never used to like it before. Nicole used to have very long hair when she was a child. I used to do something in past. There is no present form. You cannot say I used to do. He used to play. We used to live. There used to be. He plays. We live. He plays. We live. There is. We used to live in a small town, but now we live in Chicago. There used to be 4 movie theaters in the town. Now there's only one. The normal question form is did used to. Did you used to eat a lot of candy when you were a child? The negative form is didn't used to. I didn't used to like him. I used to do. I was doing. I used to watch TV a lot when I was little. I watched TV regularly in the past, but I no longer do this. I was watching TV when my called. I was in the middle of watching a program. Do not confuse. I used to do and I'm used to do. I'm used to doing. I used to live alone. I lived alone in the past, but I no longer live alone. I'm used to living alone. I live alone. I live alone and I don't find it strange or difficult because I've been living alone for some time. I'm used to living. I used to live alone. I'm used to living alone. This is Ben's calendar for next week. He is playing tennis on Monday afternoon. He is going to the dentist on Tuesday morning. He is having dinner with Anne on Friday. In all these examples, Ben has already decided and arranges to do these things. I'm doing something tomorrow. I have already decided and arranged to do it. What are you doing Saturday night? Not what do you do? What are you doing? I'm going to the theater. What time is Kathy arriving tomorrow? At 10:30. I'm meeting her at the airport. I'm not working tomorrow, so we can go out somewhere. Sam isn't playing football next Saturday. He hurts his leg. I'm going to do is also possible in this sentence. What are you going to do Saturday night? What are you doing Saturday night? What are you going to do Saturday night? But the present continuous is more natural for arrangement. Present continuous is more natural for arrangement. Do not use will to talk about what you have arranged to do. What are you doing tonight? What are you doing tonight? Eric is getting married next week. Eric is getting married next week. Arrange. You can also use the present continuous for an action just before you begin to do it. This happens especially with the verbs of movement go, come, leave. I'm tried. I'm going to bed now. Good night. Not I go to bed now. I'm going to bed. Tina, are you ready yet? Yes, I'm coming. You can use the simple present when you talk about schedules, programs. For public transportation's movie, my flight leaves at 11:30, so I need to get to the airport by 10. What time does the movie begin? What time does the movie begin? It's Wednesday tomorrow. It's Wednesday tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday. You can use the simple present to talk about people if their plans are fixed, like a schedule. I start my new job on Monday. What time do you finish work tomorrow? What time do you finish work tomorrow? You can use the simple present to talk about people if their plans are fixed. But the continuous is more commonly used for personal arrangement. What time are you meeting and tomorrow? What time are you meeting and tomorrow? What time are you arriving? I'm going to the movies tonight. What time does the plane arrive? The movie starts at 8:15. I'm going to do something. I have already decided to do it. I intend to do it. Are you going to watch the football game on TV tonight? No, I'm going to go to bed early. I'm tired from my trip. I heard Lisa wants some money. What is she going to do with it? She's going to buy a new car. I'm going to make a quick phone call. Can you wait for me? This cheese smells awful. I'm not going to eat it. I'm doing and I'm going to do. We use I'm doing when we say what we have arranged to do. For example, arrange to meet somebody, arrange to go somewhere. What time are you meeting Amanda tonight? I'm leaving tomorrow. I already have my plane ticket. I'm going to do something. I've decided to do it, but perhaps not arrange to do it. The windows are dirty. Yes, I know. I'm going to wash them later. I'm going to wash them later. I've decided to wash them, but I haven't arranged to wash them. I've decided not to stay here any longer. Tomorrow I'm going to look for another place to live. Often often the difference is very small and either form is possible. You can also say that something is going to happen in the future. For example, the man can see the wall in front of him. He is going to walk into the wall. When we say that something is going to happen, the situation now makes us believe this. The man is walking toward the wall now, so we can see that he is going to walk into it. Look at those dark clouds. It's going to rain. The clouds are there now. I feel awful. I think I feel awful. I think I'm going to be sick. I feel awful. I think I'm going to be sick. The economic situation is bad now and things are going to get worse. I was going to do something. I intended to do it but didn't do it. We were going to fly to New York, but then we decided to drive instead. Peter was going to take the exam, but he changed his mind. I was just going to cross the street when somebody shouted, "Stop." We can say that something was going to happen, but didn't happen. I thought it. I thought it was going to rain, but it didn't. We use I will when we decide to do something at the time of speaking. Oh, I left the door open. I will go and shut it. What would you like to drink? I will have some orange juice, please. Did you call Julie? Oh no, I forgot. I will call her now. You cannot use the simple present in this sentence. I will go and shut the door, not I go and shut. We often use I think I will and I don't think I will. I'm a little hungry. I think I will have something to eat. I don't think I will go out tonight. I'm too tired. I don't think I will. I think I won't. I don't think I will go. In spoken English, the negative of will is usually won't. Won't. I can see you're busy. I can see you're busy. So I won't stay long. Do not use will to talk about what you have already decided or arranged to do. I'm going on vacation. I'm going on vacation next Saturday. Are you working? Are you working tomorrow? Will you work? Are you working tomorrow? Arrange it. We often use will in this situation, offering to do something. That bag looks heavy. I will help you with it. Can you give Tim this book? Sure, I will give it to him. I'll give it to him when I see him this afternoon. Promising to do something. Thanks for lending me the money. I will pay you back on Friday. I won't tell anyone. I won't tell anyone what happened, I promise. I won't tell anyone what happened, I promise. Asking somebody to do something. Will you please be quiet? I'm trying to concentrate. Will you shut the door, please? You can use won't to say that somebody refuses to do something. I tried to give her advice, but she won't listen. She won't listen. Car won't start. The car refuses to start. The car won't start. Shall I? Shall is used in the questions. Shall we to ask somebody's opinion, especially in offers or suggestions. Shall I open the window? Do you want me to open the window? Shall I open the window? Do you want me to open the window? Where shall we have lunch? Let's go to Marino's. Shall I open? We just shoot more often in the same situation. Should I open the window? Do you want me to open it? Where should we have lunch? Should more often in the same situation. Should I open the window? Do you want me? We do not use will to say what somebody has already arranged or decided to do in the future and is working next week. Are you going to watch television tonight? For is working and are you going to? But often when we talk about the future, we are not talking about what somebody has decided to do. Joe and a friend are waiting in line at a movie theater. We will get in does not mean we have decided to get in. Joe is saying what he knows or thinks will happen. He is predicting the future. When we predict a future happening or situation, we use will, won't. Julie has lived abroad for a long time. When she comes back, she will find a lot of changes here. Where will you be this time next year? I will be in Japan. That plate is hot. If you touch it, you will burn yourself. Tom won't pass the exam. He hasn't studied hard enough. When will you find out how you did on the exam? We often use will with probably. I will probably be home late tonight. I expect the test will take 2 hours. Don't worry about the exam. I'm sure you will pass. Do you think Sarah will like the present we bought her? Do you think Sarah will? I don't think the exam will be very difficult. I guess your parents will be tired after their trip. What do you suppose Jane and Mark will get married? When do you suppose Jane and Mark will get married? I doubt you will need a heavy coat in Las Vegas. It's usually warm there. I doubt you will need a heavy coat in Las Vegas. It's usually warm there. I worry about those people who lost their jobs. I wonder what will happen to them. After I hope, we generally use the present. I hope Kate passes the exam. I hope it doesn't rain tomorrow. Study the difference between will and be going to. Sue is talking to Eureka. Let's have a party. That's a great idea. We will invite lots of people. Will. We use will when we decide to do something at the time of speaking. The speaker has not decided before. The party is now a new idea. Later that day, Erica meets Dave. Sue and I have decided to have a party. We are going to invite lots of people. Be going to. We use going to when we have already decided to do something. Erica had already decided to invite lots of people before she spoke to Dave. I'm going to. I will. Daniel called while you were out. Daniel called while you were out. Okay, I will call him back. Daniel called while you were out. Yes, I know. I'm going to call him back. Anne is in the hospital. Oh, really? I didn't know. I will go and visit her. Anne is in the hospital. Yes, I know. I'm going to visit her tonight. Future happens and situations predicting the future. Sometimes there is not much difference between will and going to. For example, you can say, I think the weather will be nice later. I think the weather is going to be nice later. When we say something is going to happen, we think it is because of the situation now. Look at those black clouds. It's going to rain, not it will rain. We can see that it is going to rain from the clouds that are in the sky now. I feel terrible. I feel terrible. I think I'm going to be sick, not I think I will be sick. I think I'm going to be sick because I feel terrible now. Do not use will in this type of situation. In other situations, we use will. Tom will probably get here at about 8. I think Jessica will like the present we bought for her. These shoes are very well made. They will last a long time. Will have done. These people are standing in line to get into the stadium. An hour from now, the stadium will be full. Everyone will be watching the game. 3 hours from now, the stadium will be empty. The game will have ended. Everyone will have gone home. I will be doing something future continuous. I will be in the middle of doing it. I'm leaving on vacation. Leaving on vacation this Saturday. This time next week, I will be lying on the beach or swimming in the ocean. You have no chance of getting the job. You will be wasting your time if you apply for it. Compare will be doing and will do. Don't call me between 7 and 8. We will be having dinner. Let's wait for Maria to arrive and then we will have dinner. We'll have dinner. We will have dinner. Compare will be doing with other continuous forms. At 10 yesterday, Kelly was at the office. She was working. It's 10 now. She is at the office. She is working. At 10 tomorrow, she will be at the office. She will be working. We also use will be to talk about complete action. In the future. The government will be making complete action in the future. The government will be making a statement about the crisis later today. Will you be going away this summer? Later in the program, I will be talking to the Minister of Education. Our best player is injured and won't be playing in the game on Saturday. In the example, will be ing similar to be going to. We use will have done future perfect to say that something will already be complete before a time in the future. Sally always leaves for work at 8:30 in the morning. She won't be at home at 9. She will have gone to work. We are late. The movie will already have started by the time we get to the theater. We'll have done with other perfect form. Ted and Amy have been married for 24 years. Next year they will have been married for 25 years. When their first child was born, they had been married for 3 years.